Parental discretion is advised.
What's up, guys? On this week's Wrestling Mayhem show, we remember Paul Bearer. We talk about a TNA renaissance. We examine the phenomenon of wrestling is, all that, and an interview with young sensation and Carlito impersonator Andrew Palace. Stick around. This week's Wrestling Mayhem show is brought to you by the best of Val Venus, because choppy choppy pee-pee can still be fun.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time.
Welcome to the Mayhem Show! I'm Sorg here in the Mayhem Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, ready for the Wrestling Mayhem Show. With us is, from the dark corridors, is Papa Lunchbox. How you doing?
I'm doing the show. Brand.
Yeah?
I'm brand and thirsty. Does my video look awful?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I think I know why. I'm going to fix it.
Fix it.
Go on.
Fix
Continue
it.
on.
Also with us from
fix immediately.
Corpus Christi, Texas, doing the Wrestle Fan. It's the Wrestle Fan.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing? Is that your impression of the face that was on last week?
Yeah, exactly. I'm horrible at impressions.
That is also the cover photo for our Facebook page and our Google Plus page.
I'm so proud of that. I'm so.
You
so
made
happy.
your mark, sir.
Yeah.
Also with us is the Riz.
Huh?
Hi.
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 We gotta talk about wrestling.
We're gonna talk about wrestling.
We're gonna talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about wrestling.
No, not anymore.
No.
That was a
we're
very
going to talk
odd
about ham.
Ham. This is a very odd beginning
The
to a very
Mayhem
odd
show.
Wrestling Mayhem
So
show.
Lunchbox,
The Mayhem.
So Lunchbox, what are your thoughts on Canadian bacon?
Canadian bacon's really good. I had to stop eating it, though, because when I was young, I used to eat it on sandwiches. I have like Canadian bacon sandwiches because I didn't know any better, and it made me quite fat. So I'm spending my whole third decade trying to recover from my first 2 decades.
And I want to adjust in the chat room. No, WrestleFan did not get light bulbs. He went someplace where light bulbs already were. Okay, he actually
Out
you guys-
of Texas.
WrestleFan, what the fuck?
there were no light bulbs left in
history.
San Antonio, so he went to Corpus Christi.
Also, you guys told me to buy light bulbs, but I realized that my dorm room has specific light bulbs that no one else uses.
What?
Personally.
Oh, you know what you do in that
Fuck
situation?
you guys.
You go to the RA and you say, "Hey, look." You point to the damn light bulb.
And what is the deal
that
with
is-
these light bulbs?
He's not wrong.
That is just too much effort, Riz. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Just whip your dick out.
if you want to talk to us about hams or light bulbs, you can check us out at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Don't talk to us about wrestling, obviously. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, and the YouTubes in video and audio forms, however you like to digest your mayhem. Okay? You can also drop us a line to
Good times.
Good Times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or drop a line to 412-206. No, you're late. 206 WMS0 for the hotline. You can also buy the app WMS Gold. It's on your iTunes iOS
Sorg, a wizard is never late.
store.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Your iTunes App Store or your Amazon App Store for your Android devices. Go get it. Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold exclusive stuff, plus all the connections to all the stuff I just talked about in the Facebook links and the Twitter links and the calling and stuff like that, just like the Riz has got right there. So there, buy the app, and you can join us here live every Tuesday at live.sorgatronmedia.com, and you can give me creepy AJ gifts right in the chat room to distract me. You can make your your impression right there.
Who's
These
a
guys
good
have been
chat room
great.
over there?
Who's the chat room?
Who's the chat room?
Who's in the chat room over there? Oh, hi. We've been having a great night actually with Wrestling Mayhem. With the Awesome Cast and Let's Play, our gaming and tech shows that happened before this. No, this is not the Laundry Time podcast. That has not launched just yet. We're still in the planning phases. We're trying to decide between our fabric softeners and our soaps and our brand of laundry, or if we're going to have it in a laundromat for sponsorship options.
I want Tide, but everybody else wants a different thing. I don't know. Tide is the brand that everybody wants. And I don't care if Braun or Downey wants to fuck me in the ass. I'm not going to pay it for a damn teddy bear.
Right. I kind of like the teddy bear. But anyways, like Bobby's saying, yeah, we're ironing out the differences.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Hey, let's start the show, other than bad puns, the other way we know how, with some fan interactions. Who's going first, guys?
Well, we do start off every week, as I'm told, with the Mexican email.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's do this. And I was told last week I have to get more enthusiastic about it. So let me warm up.
Yo.
Hola, amigos. Es me, es el Gran Azul, El Pato. And you guys are gonna hate me.
Here we go.
Del Rio. Close enough. Your true
horrible.
people's champion. Ole.
Do it again.
No.
No, that's
Dude,
okay.
we're gonna have an hour-long show of me reading this email. I'm never gonna be able to roll my R's, okay?
No.
God damn it, WrestleFan. Fuck you, man. I'm reading the Spanish email next week.
Do it!
I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing
You're
it. I'm going to
ethnic.
read the Spanish email next week, and I'm going to show you how to roll your
You
R's.
know what? From now on, every ethnic email we receive goes to Papa Lunchbox.
I'll do it. Let me bring up the fucking Google Drive right now. Drive. I can't spell drive. Read the English email, WrestleFan.
I'm reading the English one? Okay, let's do that.
Reading all of them.
From one Alex K. 10%ers! What's up?
Hey,
It's Alex
No,
K. with a quick look
just
at this
doing
week in
a podcast.
wrestling. Bully Ray as A's and Eights president. We all saw it coming, but I for one like it. Better than D'Lo as the VP. Raw was a decent show. Nice tributes for Paul Bearer. R.I.P. Bearer. CM Punk is a total heel, and I love it. That final image of CM Punk mocking Taker with the urn was brilliant. Some questions, provided you're not talking about them, not already talking about them. What's next for Aces and Eights? Where will they take Punk Taker next? As for the love of Robbie E., why have they dropped the ball with Rockstar Spud and Joey Ryan? Until next time, this is Alex K. reminding you not to tout your own horn.
well, you know,
Wait. Well,
what?
what did Aces and Eights do to Punk and Taker?
No.
No, you're mixing your R's.
Where do they take them?
No.
I don't know
Those are
where they took them.
those are two separate thoughts.
You need to get a return there. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
That would be cool, though. That would add something to the
No.
storyline.
Taker Punk, because I think we're going to talk about a lot of Aces and Eights later, actually. So let's hold off that for a bit, okay? Yeah, there's gonna be some TNA talk. Punk and Taker. As I was saying last night in the chat room, I really think this is gonna be the bulk of what they do with it. Like last night, and it's probably partially because of the Paul Bearer thing. We didn't have Rock Cena. We didn't have much between Brock and Triple H. It was really the Punk Taker show, right? So now you've done your stuff to push the Punk Taker thing. Punk will probably come out and talk every week, telling about how he's God and everything. But other than that, I think we had our major interaction leading up to WrestleMania, right? We have the reason for this match to happen. There's going to be a bunch of promos reiterating that fact, right? Which will make room for next week after. We're going to have big things happen for the other two big main event matches, right? So,
Triple H should be showing up next week.
What's that?
Triple H should be showing up next week.
Yep, exactly. I think he's supposed to be responding to Brock Lesnar. So cool. And even like the week before that, we had really big things happening with Brock and Triple H, and I think the Rock Cena confrontation also happened. So they're going to be splitting this up, right? So I think you're going to have maybe one more minor interaction between the two of them. Then that's going to be it leading into WrestleMania. So I think there's not much next. Next is the match, guys.
I think it's super smart on their part to do that, to sort of take their three main events and sort of, not think that every show that they do has to be that important and that focused on that storyline. You can take a break every once in a while, and that way you don't necessarily oversaturate people.
Mhm.
I think that was the big problem with Roxina last year, was they were cutting promos every single week.
Mhm. And we're sitting
I
here
think-
like judging promo to promo.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if they took a break every once in a while, and instead of focusing like they did this week, like not really doing a lot with John Cena and The Rock, and focusing on the other two things, like I think that's the way to go.
Mhm.
Because
And,
the Rock and Cena don't need to do anything the entire month.
no,
Right.
that's why
They're The Rock and John Cena.
that's why we had a recap last
Yes.
night.
Mhm.
So, and another curiosity from Alex in the chat: if he hadn't died, do you think they would have involved Bear in this angle?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No.
I think no.
He would have came out. He would have probably came out at WrestleMania though.
Mm.
They would have
Maybe.
probably done the cameo thing again. But
I'm not saying it's impossible that they
But-
wouldn't have involved him if he hadn't died, but I do think his passing did have a lot. They ran with
his
it. I think
time-
definitely.
I don't want to be a dick about it, but his timing. I just saw I was eating my name tag there. His timing, like, I know it was unprecedented, and we all wish the Moody family the best of luck, but and grievances and all that. But the timing of his death improved the match.
Absolutely, I gotta agree.
I don't want to say it because that sounds weird, but a real life incident just occurred, and they're turning it into a storyline. This is creepy, and it works.
Do we think it's too much though? Like we're always worried when
I
they
don't
like
think so.
turn something, but this time it feels like, oh, that's perfect. I think we're finally
It
getting
wasn't-
over.
it
At
was
least
not-
us as a group here, as fans, are getting over the idea of them lampooning something real happening, like a death or a heart attack. It's like, guys, no. These guys wish for stuff like this to get heat off of. You know?
I think this was done really well. The stuff with the heart attack with Jerry Lawler, I don't know. Like, it wasn't done horribly, but I do think there was stuff they could have done differently.
Jerry
But
Lawler wasn't in a storyline per se.
Mhm.
No, it
He's
wasn't.
He's not
And
a wrestler, and he had a heart attack.
It was-
And they
but it was
tried
still
to play
mentioned
it
very-
No, they did do. That's not entirely true because they did
Well,
do.
he did do
He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Punk came out and said, "Screw him! I wish he would have died" or something like that.
Yeah.
They did play off of it.
They did this, though. They did this Paul Bearer thing, injecting him into the storyline without, in my opinion, insulting him in the least.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I agree.
Punk didn't come out and say Paul Bearer's like rotting in hell because he's a horrible person. No, he went out and said, Paul Bearer's looked at, for his entire lifetime, he's seen you as being 20-0, but you're going to be 20-1.
Oh, I love that. I love that Paul Bearer always saw you as perfect.
Yeah.
Like a father. I thought
And
that was-
also, like, people were complaining that the really sort of bad part was when Punk attacked Kane with the actual urn.
Mhm.
He's not in that urn, guys.
Well,
It's a metaphor.
It's not actually his ashes, probably.
The actual urn, wasn't it that melted into a chain for Kamala?
I don't think they actually.
I remember
did
that. Yeah,
I
I
think it just
remember
happened
that.
to have a chain and like this was the urn. I
Yeah.
don't think this is actually. I'm pretty sure the thing's plastic. So
Probably. it was a prop.
remember they had a flashlight in it at that one time. They showed that in
Yep.
the clip.
Yeah, it was when the Undertaker came back to face the Undertaker, and Paul Bearer came out, and he's like, summon the purple Undertaker.
He was the last great, along with Undertaker, last great not goofy, but character. Right.
Over the top.
Really over the top.
Yeah.
I said this like afterwards that there's only two managers that can do that. That can have a connection with their superstar because of their character. One's Paul Bearer. The other is Mr. Fuji with the Yokozuna. And that's kind of racist to say, but it's true.
Oh, it's totally true. They went hand in hand.
Yeah, entirely.
And both managers made those wrestlers the pinnacle of their careers.
Mhm.
And both of them are world champions. Both of them are, I don't want to say, are legends in the sport or in this entertainment business or whatever we call it this day today.
Sports entertainment.
Sports entertainment. But it's guys like these who, right now, there's nobody there. There are managers like Ricardo Rodriguez and Zeb Coulter who is kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not going to be another Paul Bearer or Mr. Fuji that can just give you that feeling of, oh crap, oh yeah,
Okay.
What a weird.
This just got
that in there.
interesting.
okay, that's good. For your audio listeners, there's AJ licking her lips.
Yeah.
Not our AJ.
That is everything to do.
By next week, we'll have an
that's
email of a GIF of
it's
AJ, our AJ, licking his lips, probably. So thanks. Now that's going to happen. Anyways, yeah, and on the one point earlier, Mike mentions in the chat room a couple minutes ago, I moved. Okay, there she is again.
With that, yeah.
Punk said that on the Nerds that if this were the 80s, he would have said that he killed Jerry Lawler with a heart punch. He did. Yeah, I mean, that's the.
I'm not saying they are making fun of it.
No.
It's
Yeah,
just-
I mean that's like if Punk's out there making fun of his heart attack thing, Lawler is probably okay with it, you know.
And
Yeah.
to do this in front of the Paul Bearer's sons,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and they had to have a say in something like this, though. They had to go, hey, you
Hands
guys,
up, whatever, you know.
look, this is what we're gonna do about your father.
Mm-hmm.
You like it? Okay, good. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So-
Excellent. So let's get to our other ethnic email here. Because everything else involving TNA, I want to hold off the TNA talk until a little bit later. Papa Lunchbox.
See, I didn't actually realize that WrestleFan read all of the Spanish email. I thought I was cutting him off and I was going to finish it. But
No,
whatever.
it was just that short.
Yeah, it was. It was like 3 lines. Hey. Hey, it's me, it's the fan of the year, Big PPC. Rest in peace, Paul Bearer, aka Percy Pringle, aka Mr. Moody. So, working it into storyline with Undertaker and Punk just seems way too convenient for WWE. I mean, really? Damn. Well, let's have a match with Kane then, cause Undertaker can't and probably shouldn't wrestle at Mania or till Mania, but I hear he is doing all the house shows up till Mania. A match with Big Show versus Seth Rollins with Ambrose and Reigns, which anybody could tell that it would be 3-on-1 real quick. It is always impressive to see them slowly take down Big Show like he was a elephant, and the Shield are hyenas or velociraptors. Fucking dominate! Triple power bomb is not something you like, you should go fuck yourself. FYI, invisible grenades are great and all, but triple power bomb, bam! Bitches, take WrestleFan, you can rub one off to SCH, and he would get triple power bomb too. Yeah, he's good, but no one can hide from the eye of justice. Believe in the Shield. Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan had a fantastic match per usual, but wait, what is this? Dolph actually won the match on Raw, or on TV for that matter. Big E needs to have a match already or something, huh? Well, maybe he's better at just being the backup or muscle. Mini Mark Henry would never be as good as the Hall of Fame inductor, the world's strongest man, the mutant Guinean pig, Mark fucking Henry. Somebody's gonna get their wigs split. Team Rhodes Scholars. Damn! Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. That was a fucking brilliant, great, fantabulous promo. Plus, we get to hear the real deal by Road Dogg Jesse James and badass Billy Gunn. The New Age Outlaws. Great match. Oh. Yeah. Brock comes out and tears Outlaws new assholes. Damn, sucks to be friends with the game. Game. On. The King of Kings. Needs to sign the dotted line. So WWE has a shit ton of movies coming out. That is all. Paul Bearer, great. The King of Kings needs to sign the dotted line. Great Paul Bearer segment throughout the night. Jericho Miz Barrett, I guess Maddox segment was kind of brutal comedy, but somehow worked, I guess. So ultimately nothing was solved, and not sure who is facing Barrett next week. Barrett Barrage, I guess. Kane and Halle Berry. Damn, enough said. Wow, Punk and Kane and Undertaker segment was pretty cool. I like seeing Punk being the antagonist and mocking Undertaker, so Kane looking forward to more of this. So TNA had pay-per-view and Bully is champ and is leader or president of Aces and Tits. It was great line of the night. Bully said to Brooke Hogan and Hulk Hogan to Devon, Devon, let that bitch cry! Damn, LOL. Good other matches were Bad Influence, Daniels and Kaz and Aries and Rude and Chavo and Hernandez. Angle basically fought the broom in the cage. ROH is doing shit as well. Questions. I hear El Generico without his mask. Wrestled without his mask. Ugh. I wish he would be able to keep it. Thoughts? Pac, aka Adonis, is the NXT champ I saw last week on NXT. He and Generico put on a great match in Illinois at show. Just saying. Anyways, if you could name one or two of the most underrated wrestlers in your opinion, who would it be? And there is no Kali picks this time, okay.
Fuck!
Just this once, ugh. Calm down, and I should say no ACH boners either as a fan. LOL, just kidding. Till next time, it's me, it's Big PPC. Keep up great work, Mayhem crew. Sent from my iPhone.
Now, that was creepy because I did not know he wrote that
Told you to calm down.
last line, the calm down line. And I was like,
You know, I don't know why this never dawned on me, but so he's writing this entire email on his iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might explain some
Maybe we
things.
should cut him some fucking slack.
shut up, Russell.
No, it's funnier this way.
I will never, ever, ever not read it in Russian. I don't care.
No, he's reading it in Russian.
The thing is, I also never want to hear his voice in real life because it will ruin it for me.
Don't
Wait,
ruin
didn't
it
we
for
hear
us.
his voice
He's a
before?
Russian child.
Didn't he pop
It's like
in a-
hearing Delirious talk for the first time.
We heard his voice before. I think it was in a hangout or on
something, or he
on
left a
voicemail or something like
That
that.
was a
But we
mistake.
heard
We
him.
blocked it out,
I don't.
obviously. So
And he's. I'm gonna say he sounded Russian.
close enough,
So-
right? Close enough.
So, got questions.
If I knew a Russian person,
El Generico wrestled without his mask. Thoughts?
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
Seriously, who get? Okay, he's a great wrestler. That's awesome, fantastic. He's a great character. Congratulations. If you're that talented and a great actor, that'll shine through whether he wears a mask or not. Who gives a fuck?
Hey, who
I agree.
wore a mask in the Indies that is now the world heavyweight champion?
Triple H. No, that's fine.
WrestleFan? Who is that man?
Never wore a
That would-
mask.
No, not me. That would be one Alberto Del. Oh, you're saying it so you'd make me roll my R's again, you piece
Yes.
of shit. Alberto Del Rio.
Okay.
That sounded retarded.
Um,
Yeah.
So he always asks, well, could you name one or two of the most underrated wrestlers in your opinion?
Today?
I guess so. Thoughts?
I got mine.
Okay.
And I know he said no ACH boner, and I won't say ACH because I think he's very properly rated. I will go to the ACW well though. Two people I think are extremely underrated. I think companies should look out for is a guy by the name of Davey Vega that I think a lot of people need to check out. Completely gets pro wrestling, I think, and has a great understanding of it. And also a person we interviewed here, a friend of the show, Gary J. He's one to definitely look out for. I think a lot of companies should be using them because they're great assets. I think.
I'll go local as well. I'm going to go John McChesney and probably even Shane Taylor. Because Shane Taylor is doing some great stuff, has an opportunity to be a monster down there in RWA. And John McChesney, I'm just like seeing what he's doing with. He's really kind of Ric Flairing it out there. Like he makes people look like $1 million. You know what I mean? And I can tell he's just one of those people that just works his ass off for wrestling. So, you know, and again, just has a great head for it too. So that's mine. LB, you got anybody? It doesn't have to be indie. I know we kind of started the indie train, but
let's go. I'm going to stop that indie train right.
You stop it. You stop it right in its tracks.
I'm trying to find out where this person's from.
Okay.
Polish. College. Doesn't say. Oh well. Anyway, I think remarkably underrated. Beth Phoenix. She was so talented.
Oh yeah.
And they were just like, fuck it, just let her go. She was great. She was absolutely fantastic. I went back and watched an old Royal Rumble. It's the one where she eliminated Khali. She did excellent work. Very talented wrestler. Good facial expressions. She was just really, really good in an era where she had almost nobody that she could run with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am. My pick is Beth Phoenix.
About you there, Riz?
I'm going to go one local, one one mainstream star. My local one is Dalton Castle.
I think he's just not ready because nobody's discovered him yet.
No, once he is, he's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And for the main star that gets overlooked a lot, Justin Gabriel.
Oh, fuck you, Riz. You were supposed to say Khali.
Oh, Khali.
Shit on my dreams.
No, you follow the rules.
I follow the damn rules, sir.
From the chat.
Even if wait, you know what? No.
Well,
I choose Khali because Callie isn't really a name. Isn't really a wrestler name.
No.
Yeah, it brings me joy.
Kahli. Khali is Khali.
Yeah.
If we have to pick a local person, I will pick Facade because he's tremendous. Huge talent, and I think he should be everywhere where there's wrestling.
From the chat room, Alex Carr says Freight Train, Steve the Turtle Weiner, and Willie Mack. Big PPC says Michael Elgin and Roderick Strong. Wrestling Revolution says Hunico. Also,
You know what? I'll give him that.
Oh,
I think
seriously.
he is underrated for his ability, but like he's given a character that doesn't really
Big
work.
Nasty Eric Watts from Tough Enough from Alex. When the Wrestling fan has a problem with Strong and Elgin because they were almost Wrestler of the Year last year, and Strong is a world champion. He's saying Hunico and Eric Young; those are his picks. Let's see if anybody else.
Hunico rides the bike well.
Mike says Delirious, and Bobby says Pikachu.
Good choice, Bobby.
Then he picked Zach Rain, Shane Malice, and Project 13.
AKA
Wait,
Project.
Bobby didn't say Manchild?
Apparently not. Manchild is rated exactly where he needs to be, apparently.
I think Pikachu is like the epitome of overrated. I mean, yeah, he's good,
Really?
but he's really just a small electric type Pokemon.
You know
what
who's
I mean?
who's very underrated?
Hitmonchan?
Magikarp.
Magikarp.
Magikarp
Nope.
is underrated. I'll give you that.
Your totes wrong.
You know who's
What?
properly
You can't do
rated?
anything.
Diglett.
Diglett, you can suck my dick.
Well, with that, we're gonna
Sorg,
toss.
Sorg, who's your favorite Pokemon? Join in. Come on now.
Answer the question!
Just name any Pokemon. And make us happy.
Mewtwo.
Bam! Named it.
Yeah,
Fantastic. I have one other mention I wanna bring up because I mentioned a lady wrestler.
Pokemon.
Also, surprisingly good when you go back and watch her now is Maurice.
Yeah.
She wasn't the best technical wrestler, but holy shit. Her
Maurice
facial
Mivan?
expressions, and the greatest thing I ever read about her was, I think it was Brian Stroud, actually, in his column one week, said that he he mentioned her getting slapped in the face, and she sold it like she was falling out of an airplane. And he's right. It was fantastic. Whenever she'd lose a match, she'd freak out and like make sure her hair's all in place and do this thing. She was awesome. She was so good, and they fucking fired her.
The Dolph Ziggler of
Now,
women's wrestlers.
That being said, there is a news item going around. I don't know if you want to get into it now or save it for the roundtable about lady wrestlers.
Let's get that in the roundtable, sir.
Okay.
So before we get to our
sweet Bippy
Indie Minute, we did have an interview this past week in IWC Uncivil War, and with one Andrew Palace. So let's get to know this young star here with IWC. Here with the Mayhem Show, right before IWC Uncivil War, the fans are filing in back there behind us with one of the up-and-comers here with IWC, International Wrestling Cartel. This is Andrew Palace. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty amazing. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. So Andrew Palace, tell me first, for the people who haven't checked you out, of course, if they haven't checked out IWC, I don't know where else you've been around, but tell them what can they expect when they see an Andrew Palace match?
Well, you can expect the best looking hair you ever seen, ever. Don't even call me Carlito. I'm better than Carlito. But you're going to expect high-flying amazingness with lots of goggles.
Okay. We'll get into that in a second. But first, you're one of the guys that's coming through IWC's wrestling school, the
Iron City Wrestling Academy.
Iron City Wrestling Academy. I usually get it mixed up. I knew there was a lot of stuff there. So you're one of the guys that's kind of broken out from that I'm aware of. I think like the strongest breakout from your class.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, HD Cannon, he's getting a little push here and there, but.
A little bit?
Okay, he's getting a pretty decent push.
Okay.
But I mean, he can't say he faced like, I don't know, Zema Ion. Okay. He's on TV, so.
Yeah, you've had a chance to face a few names, including Zema Ion. I think he was the X Division. He was just lost the X Division Championship.
Just lost it, yeah.
So, and I think Gregory Iron you faced. How successful were you?
Well, they got lucky.
Okay.
This time.
So tell me about that. So you went through the IWC wrestling school. You're only a few months into this, having matches with the IWC here. I think since late last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Tell me what the experience was like. Like, why did you pick the IWC wrestling school?
You know, I went to other places. Like, I was so eager to get into pro wrestling because I did amateur wrestling for 13 years. Okay. So it's like I really wanted to get into this. And places I went, they kind of ignored me. Mm-hmm. They didn't listen to my messages, trying to get in with their school. It's like, hey, I'm giving you money. Just train me. But IWC, it's like I sent a message and I got a message back about 2 hours later. So
they're the ones that called back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, this is the place I want to be because they want me there, so I'll be there.
Excellent. What do you think really stuck out that you got there you don't think you would have gotten other places?
Oh, I mean, IWC just brings in the best talent from all over the country, all over the world, really. Any big indie names you hear of, they've been through here. They go here. I mean, you look at Sammy Callahan, Bobby Fish, like just a big name indie circuit guys. Mm-hmm. So it's like I want to be associated with those guys. Awesome. So I thought
Of course, you guys like Zema Ion, who's homegrown here.
Yeah, it's like, and a lot of people compare me to him, and it's kind of weird because I actually grew up about 6 minutes away from where he grew up. Like, our high schools actually had like rivalries and stuff.
So yeah, that's great, you know. So you got to build that in when you had your match. That rivalry just kind of kept going.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and like we both have our hair thing going on, so that
battle of the hairstyles, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent.
Mine's a little bit better, but yeah.
Now we got a little bit of different style than some of the guys here in IWC, you know, Zema Ion and everybody. But you have a style, certain little bit of style people have noticed that seems a little bit. I don't know if it's on purpose, it's an homage, or it's a no. I'm taking this for myself, because you definitely get the chance of Carlito.
You know, it's just a coincidence. I mean, Carlito, he had poofy hair. I have poofy hair. I don't see anybody comparing bald people with Stone Cold Steve Austin or anything like that. So it's like, okay, I have poofy hair. I wear purple. It's like, get over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I don't bite into apples or anything. Stupid. That's stupid.
You know. And now you tell me about these goggles.
What you want to know about these goggles?
Why do you have goggles in the ring? Are you afraid you're going to fall into like? Are you afraid we're going to have the Piranha match like in WXC or whatever that MTV one was?
No. Just the goggles. The goggles are like, it's like the Green Lantern's ring. Okay? It gives him the power.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now these goggles, they give me the power. I mean, nobody's seen this power yet.
Okay.
I'm getting to it.
You're getting to it. You're building it up.
But when I grab those goggles, put them on, and hit my aviation, that's when I jump off the top with the goggles, and it's super cool.
Okay.
When I hit that,
Okay.
I swear, the world will be changed, and I'm sticking with that.
There you go. Now you've done this. You've gone on the top rope. You put on the goggles, and
I missed a few times.
Okay. You haven't hit it yet. Let's be honest. They were going to hit with the hard question. You have not hit it yet.
No, I hit the mat.
And it felt it. Okay. That's fair enough. All right. Excellent. So what's in the future for Andrew Palace? Where do you go from here? Where are you going with IWC and beyond?
Well, first you're going to see me in the IWC, then you're going to see me in the other top promotions around the country, and then you're going to see me on TV, and then you're going to see me in the books, and then you're going to see me on CNN, and then you're going to see me going to the Hall of Fame everywhere. Not just like, one company.
There are a couple of Hall of Fames now.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
My goal is to be in all of them.
Okay.
As the bestest ever.
What do you have coming up? There's got to be somebody like an influence and somebody you would like to say, I'm at the pinnacle there. What is your dream match? You get that chance to get out on WrestleMania or whatever equivalent. What do you think? Who do you want to humble there on the grand stage?
That's a tough one. Back in his prime, I would say Mick Foley. It's like I'm into technical wrestling, which is weird that I picked Mick Foley, but he just puts it all out there. But right now, I would say Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler.
Crazy. He's crazy with this stuff. All right, then we got one more question here. We got the big question we've been asking everybody about this. This is kind of a personality test for you guys. We've gotten the whole range of answers for this thing. So we want to know from you, Andrew Palace. I have some ideas because of your wardrobe, but what vegetable would you be?
Hold on, I might get emotional. I'd be a cucumber.
Why a cucumber?
Think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Palace with the International Wrestling Cartel here before IWC Uncivil War. Where are you online if people want to check you out? Are you on the Twitters, your Facebooks?
I'm on the Twitters. I don't make many tweets, but hey, you should follow me in case I make that one tweet that blows your mind. It's at the Andrew Palace. The Andrew Palace. And Facebook, I'm Andrew Palace. Just look me up on
Can they ask you hair tips?
They can. But they probably won't have the hair to do anything.
You think I can do anything with this thing going on here? I got something to work with, right?
No. No.
Not at all.
No. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, there you go. Have it. I have no prospects. Thanks, guys. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Sword, for that excellent interview with one Andrew Palace. Folks, I know you thought it was Carlito, but it was not, in fact, Carlito. And in line with that very gentleman wrestler, let's get into this week's Indie Minute. WrestleFan, tell us what you got.
I've got things to talk about that have to do with independent wrestling. And since we just got done talking to one Andrew Palace, I think it'd be a good time to talk about IWC Wrestling, which was this past weekend in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. And Sorg was there, as always, with Sorgatron Media doing the filming. So yeah, Sorg, what did you think of the event?
Really good show. It was something a little different. As it is, this isn't the super indie, and they really kind of do the, kind of low show, high show kind of situation. They're not going like every month kind of deal here. So we had Payback. They set up a lot of stuff. This was Uncivil War.
Uncivil.
Something a little different. They actually started with the heavyweight championship, which turned into a whole thing. And, of course, they're building this whole team Big League versus IWC sort of thing. The old promoter kind of creeping in there, trying to get his hands on things. So there was a lot of stuff, a lot of involvement between, those factions, right, throughout the night, which led to an unannounced 4-on-4 Survivor Series style match between Team Big League and Team IWC, consisting of Shulo, Dalton Castle, not the other guy, and War. We Are Rockstars, which is Aiden Vale, who we talked to last month, and Jordan Lennox against Team Big League, comprising of McChesney, Nuts, Brooks, and I can't remember the other guy on the team.
Fish.
Not Fish. No, Fish was actually hurt. He got hurt apparently at the pay-per-view. But he was there with his Ring of Honor championship and everything, the tag team championship and everything. Why can't I remember who was in it? Sorry about that. Oh, Jimmy DeMarco, who came out in a fabulous dollar bill suit during that match.
Wait, was it Chest Flexor's $1 billion man suit?
No. As in, it was a giant suit that looked more like a skirt that was just like a giant, dollar bill, $100 bill. There's got to be pictures up on their Facebook or something. I'll see if I can bring it up. Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. Especially he wrestled earlier tonight in regular tights and everything, and he came out with this thing, and I think he was wearing like khaki cargo pants. So it was a little confusing to say the least. But it was cool because you saw 2 matches with the bigger guys there. It was a fun night. It was a different night. They told a lot of story. And more successfully than I think I see with a lot of indie groups that try to fit a lot of stuff in there. Because you ever see the indie group where it's like, really, do we need a promo for the match that's happening later tonight? Kind of situation.
Yep.
Why? Wait. Why do these guys feel like they should book their indie show like it's a Raw? You ever get that feeling out there, guys?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, and I've seen that a few. It's like, no, I don't need this. We don't need this. No, I'm here for wrestling. This isn't WWE, guys. Stop trying. That kind of thing. But I think it was pretty good. Pretty good how they pulled it off. So, and of course, they're setting up the Night of the Superstars. We'll talk more about the Night of the Superstars and everything leading up to it.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
Well, some of the matches that were announced, I know John McChesney will be taking on Goldust in a non-title match. That should be really fun. 3-way Super Indie match. Zima Ion versus Rocky Reynolds. That should be very good. Super Indie qualifier. Kyle Matthews making his IWC debut. I know probably most of you don't know anything about Kyle Matthews, but yep, but he's one to look out for. I would keep your eyes on him. He's had a lot of big matches in the Georgia area.
And speaking of big matches, there's the midget match we taled about last week.
Yay, midgets!
Get it? Big matches. But yeah, so
big matches.
It looks like it's going to be a really stacked card, I think, for that event.
Oh yeah, and they're usually really nice and really big, shows. This kind of replaces their old Night of Legends shows, which they didn't get a chance to do one last year because of scheduling, I think. But really cool it's coming back and they're able to do something like this, and they got some names I'm interested in seeing. So I'm looking forward to going up there and shooting that one. Here in April, and there's a show the next day with them in West Virginia, so
yeah,
it's gonna be a hell of a weekend.
It's gonna be busy.
Hitting the road with Sorgatron Media. And there's some other stuff. Did I want to mention this stuff tonight? We'll get in that next week because actually that's pertaining to RWA and PWX both having shows next Saturday night. Go check them out respectively. PWX, I think it's PWX Live TV or PWXTV.com and RWALive.com. Really interesting stuff happening in the Pittsburgh area, but I think we're going to touch on that next week since those shows are coming up, more than a week from now. But go check that out, see what's going on. What else is going on there, WrestleFan?
Some other stuff's going on, not in the Pittsburgh area, but going to the other side of the United States, in the California area. Big stuff's going down for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla this weekend. Their All-Star Weekend 9 event is coming up this weekend. Both 2-night event. It should be a really awesome time in Reseda, California. A lot of debuts for them, and a lot of the top independent stars will be there. The independent return, I guess, and debut of the wrestler formerly known as Trent Beretta. AR Fox making his PWG debut. Paul London will be there, mixing with the PWG talent. So that should be a really fun 2 nights. If you want more information on that, you can go to ProWrestlingGuerrilla.com and go check that out. It should be a really fun one. PWG is always busting out some really good stuff. And also,
hold on. Riz is trying to talk. I'm
sorry,
Riz,
it's sounding really
Riz.
low. I apologize.
I heard a rumor about Trent Beretta. What is his name in the Indies now?
Trent?
Yeah. That's who I meant.
Yeah.
Trent Beretta.
That's his name, because he has a
What's his
question mark
name?
on the end.
Really?
What's his name?
Yeah.
Trent?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Trent?
Huh.
Yeah. You read it like you're Ron Burgundy reading the teleprompter.
But what's his name?
Riz, I'm going to punch you so hard. I'm going to punch you so hard for so long.
That is
I swear to God.
That's a
First
very,
the
very
R's,
long
first
sentence.
the R's.
Don't worry, Riz. I won't let him do it.
Yay! Friendship. I'm playing
Yes.
my game.
Oh, and actually, I believe I actually am mistaken. The PWG event is next weekend. I apologize.
Oh, what the hell?
What the hell?
March the 22nd and 23rd. Dates are confusing. So I'll give you more time to prepare and get your tickets for that event. I believe Front Row is entirely sold out for those. So go check them out, and that should be a really fun time. And the last thing I do want to talk about, since we have some people on the show, and I know we don't get into discussions a lot on the Indie Minute. What was that, Riz?
You just said we have people on the show.
Riz,
do
we
have
are
people on
people,
the show.
and we are on the
This
show.
is a fact.
We are people, and we're on the show.
Totally. But we don't have a lot of discussions on the Indie Minute. But I did want to have this discussion because this I found out today, and it's a topic that's having sort of a variety of opinions on the internet, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. So everyone knows wrestling is, right? You know, wrestling is fun. You know, that one that they were doing a lot of great stuff, and I was looking at them, and then they were starting to expand with like wrestling is awesome, wrestling is respect. Some different stuff. Wrestling is art. Wrestling is heart. And I'm like, okay, this is a little, you know, it may be like they're kind of spreading themselves a bit thin, but there seems to be some good stuff coming there. They're spreading themselves a bit even more thin now, because I just found out today that there's 2 more promotions for Wrestling Is. Wrestling Is Cool. I believe it's out of, I want to say it was like West Virginia, Ohio area that they're doing their events. And also Wrestling is Intense out of the Illinois area. So just out of curiosity, what do you guys think about these? I know they've been hotly debated, I guess, on the internet about Wrestling Is. The sister promotions, I guess you could say, of Chikara. Do you see more benefits in it than sort of the detriments? First of all, I just want to open it to you guys. Like, what do you guys think?
Well, you know, the interesting... I'm sorry, I opened the Harlem Shake. Hold on.
We are not doing a Mayhem show Harlem
Sorry. Oh, I can't stop it.
What's happening?
Sorry about that. No, I'm looking at the sites, and they're very templated. I noticed, and it feels like the wrestling shows are a template as well. You know, it feels like I'm wondering as I'm looking at these rosters. I'm wondering if what they're doing is they're setting up these kind of sister promotions instead of putting Chikara all over the place, which is weird because why wouldn't you just use the brand name, right? And the suspicions about why they're doing this, right? And I don't even understand who owns these things. But there are obviously, you know, people involved with Chikara as far as the rosters go. I wonder if they're just kind of setting up these like satellite Chikara promotions that are involving people that are involved with Chikara, but instead of shipping them all into Chikara's, like they're maybe like all the Illinois people are doing the one in Illinois, and all the West Virginian people are doing the West Virginia one, and maybe they'll have less people coming in because that then it lowers your cost, right? And then Chikara is like the big show, like the super show of these kind of ideas and different people, right? I don't know. It's a theory. Really.
I see what you're going with that. My only thing is that I think Chikara nowadays is sort of expanding a lot more than they used to.
Okay.
They used to do more PA stuff, but now like they rarely ever do PA now. Like they're expanding to so many other like states
They're
that
doing
it's
Texas,
really.
aren't they?
I'm sorry.
They're doing Texas.
Are they doing Texas?
What? What are you laughing at?
No,
What?
I get a very funny
That's
message
not
from
funny.
someone who's watching the show.
Okay. All right.
Carmen Avenue pointed out wrestling in tents can happen anywhere.
Wrestling in tents.
Wrestling in
wrestling.
tents. Yeah, he's not wrong.
No.
He's not wrong at all.
But no, I didn't hear about them going to Texas.
I thought they're debuting somewhere down south or Florida or
I
something.
think they were
right?
doing Florida and
Florida,
California.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Same
Okay.
thing.
Same thing. Whatever.
thing. Okay.
But they're expanding to a lot of new places. Like even like Virginia, they're doing a lot more in like Canada and like just a bunch of different places other than just like Easton and Reading and stuff like that they used to do.
Maybe they just they're franchising out. They're franchising out like this is the McDonald'sification of Chikara or something.
Oh.
Is that what's happening? Maybe. I mean, it's like their brand, their rebranded brand going on here. I don't know. It's
a new NWA.
Yeah, oh,
See, that's the thing. I don't know if they are trying to go with territory routes, like, or
No,
if
look,
they're.
it's real simple, and we can sum it up like this: if these guys are making money, they should keep opening franchises.
Yes.
okay.
Whenever they stop being profitable, shut down that franchise.
Okay, or maybe it's maybe they're just doing all of these so they can experiment. Maybe this is all like, okay, we haven't saw fit to bring a whole Chikara show to these areas, so let's try this.
Yeah, I think that was one of my
with
theories.
a lower cost. Nobody's expecting Chikara, but it's talent. Again, maybe it is more regionalized talents. People that live in the area don't have to worry as much about travel, right? Because that's a big concern. Seriously, it's a big concern as far as wrestling goes.
It's not really it's not really just a regular branch though. If for National Pro Wrestling Day, one of the better matches that we saw was Wrestling is Respect.
Mm-hmm.
And Wrestling is Respect featured 0 punches.
Exactly.
And it was an old time wrestling match.
And that's kind of the other thing about it.
That's what they're trying to get that niche.
Yeah. And then they have these areas where they can experiment with the intense respect grappling thing there, or the extent goofiness here. Maybe they don't go this far with the goofiness. With the Wrestling is Fun. The
only thing is I don't necessarily see the difference between say a Wrestling is Awesome and a Wrestling is Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
But they run different areas, right?
And I know that partially it's sort of because of the promotions that are sort of adopted from it. Like I know Wrestling is Respect was sort of adopted from Pro Wrestling Respect, which was the sister promotion for Ring of Honor for their training students.
Okay.
And I think there's a couple other ones that are sort of like that. And I do think it does play a bit to regionally, like what Sork said. I know the Wrestling is Intense one has a lot of the guys from the Illinois area, like the Submission Squad, who are the guys that come down from St. Louis for Anarchy Championship Wrestling all the time, who are super good. It seems like that roster is sort of rounding out Wrestling is Intense. I can see those aspects. The only thing is, like what Lunchbox mentioned about profitability, for Wrestling is Awesome, for example, they had one event, I believe it was in Massachusetts. I'm not sure about that. But it did not draw a really amazing crowd. Very, very light. They released their DVD, obviously, so they're getting more, stuff, obviously, from there. But the crowd was actually very, very light, and they actually canceled their upcoming event. I have a feeling because of, the crowd turnout.
Okay.
So I think it's something they can probably hit or miss. I do think they need to, if that's the case, I do think, having 7 promotions now, I think eventually they do need to scale it back.
Mm-hmm. But still, it's one of those. You know, are they? Do they have too many shows because they're spreading themselves thin? But none of these shows are competing with each other, though, right? These aren't shows that I'm going to drive 3 hours to go see, right? This is like, I happen to be like maybe within an hour drive of this. Let's go check out a wrestling show, or even more regional. What? You're getting messages again?
God damn it!
I'm sorry. I'm getting hilarious messages.
Okay. But I think this is like, they can do this. If something does happen, like what's the problems you're seeing with the Wrestling is Awesome events, it's not as big of a loss as we went and did Chikara, brought all these guys in to do a Chikara type show with the Chikara people, and lost money on it. So, but again, I don't even know what the connection is. Are these the same company? Are they spin-off companies? What's happening here? Are they doing these companies? Are people setting up these companies locally, and then you got somebody sitting there with a license? So if Chikara wants to come to those networks after you've tested it out with one of these mini promotions, now you have somebody with a license, which is a big issue.
Yeah.
This is complicated.
Wrestling is
Wrestling
complications.
is complicated.
With that, any final thoughts on that there, Wrestle fan, or anything else?
No, I definitely think I've sort of broadened my perspective on that. I think now, I definitely want to keep up with hopefully keep up with all these promotions, see how they're doing, and how it's progressing, and how it's sort of aiding Chikara. I think in a sense, so right. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that.
Wait, Papa Lunchbox. I got it is starting something with the chat room. I think you and me need to brainstorm on this thing. Okay, yeah, are you ready for this?
What happened in the chat room? What's happening?
No. This is kind of sparked a little bit. So here's one, and I know there's a lot of wrestling here in Pittsburgh. There's 4 promotions going on in the Pittsburgh and south of Pittsburgh. I call it the droopy Pittsburgh area. Going on right now, right? But I think there might be room for one more. How about this idea that popped up? I think Alex Carr has actually said in the chat room, wrestling is delicious. How about a food-based wrestling organization? I think we can do this. I think there's money here.
Is this all just to bring in Dan Sandwich?
And I think there's 2 reasons it's going to work in the Pittsburgh area. Because 1, we love wrestling in Pittsburgh, and 2, there's a lot of fat people eating pierogies here in Pittsburgh.
Have you seen a promotion?
I'm on board with this, Sorg. I think it's a really great idea, but the only problem is Cheerleaders does this every Thursday night already, and they do it with attractive women, so I think they beat us to the punch. They beat us to the punch bowl.
All right, sorry about that, WrestleFan.
Yeast infection.
No, it's all good. I won't ignore. I won't interrupt your business ventures.
He's smart. We make our money off concessions.
It's a wrestling show.
Wait,
okay.
so wait a minute. So we're gonna. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sell the food that the wrestlers just wrestled in. Again, I think Cheerleaders has the market cornered on that one.
I think what Story's getting at is that it's a wrestling show, but in reverse. So it's a lot of like concession stuff, and it's broken up with a wrestling match as an intermission.
Wait a minute, Riz, what did you say?
There'll be less crabs.
Have you met Jimmy DeMarco?
Well, DeMarco doesn't have to. He has to wear rubbers. So.
The only reason he doesn't have crabs is because he shaves it smooth as smooth. It's like a fucking slip and slide from his titties all the way down to his little donger.
And we broke WrestleFan.
All right, with that, thank you, WrestleFan, for the Indie Minutes. In the meantime, we're going to find out on the break why it looks like Kane is coming into your bedroom with that lighting effect going on there. But with that, we're going to go check out what's going on in Gold, what else is going on around the Mayhem and the wrestling world, and we'll be back with Remember When. These still didn't... What's that?
Don't use what I just said on the show.
Oh,
no, he's a very nice guy, and I really appreciate him being on the show, and I don't want him to think that I think he's Dalton Castle. So, let's start.
You're not Papa Lunchbox. You're a frog.
I'm not.
Did you just call him a frog?
Yes, I do.
Since, according to your camera, you have the skin tone of Paul Bearer this week, I like the homage.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I gotta play with everything in my house. This week's Wrestling Mayhem show is brought to you by light bulbs. Because screw that thing. Fantastic. Folks, welcome back to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. On a serious note, the wrestling community, as we mentioned earlier, did suffer a very serious loss. Paul Bearer, a.k.a. William Moody, did pass away. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the Moody family. And as kind of an homage this week, we will be remembering our favorite Paul Bearer moments in this week's Remember When? I will happily kick things off with WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 20. Everybody knew The Undertaker was coming back. It was the end of the biker gimmick. Kane had beaten him pretty severely, in addition to Vince McMahon, and buried him, put him in the ground. He was gone for a little while. We knew he was coming back for a match. This was WrestleMania 20, and everybody wanted to know what was going to happen. And we had a big crowd watching that year, and it was silent. It was dead silent in the arena, in the apartment we were watching it in. It was silence. Everybody was waiting for the gong, but we didn't get the gong. We got Paul Bearer making his return as well with an "Oh yes!" and everybody just lit up. It was crazy. Everybody in the apartment, everybody in the arena went nuts because it was so much better than the gong, because we knew The Undertaker was coming back. It was going to be kind of a classic Taker, and The Undertaker that came back, it was like the perfect incarnation. There was a little bit of that American badass in there, but there was also the dead man. Paul Bearer was back. It was a great time, and to have it kicked off by Paul Bearer was just the cherry on top. Sorg?
I never thought, it's in my head, Paul Bearer was always the part of the package deal, Like, I never thought of anything specifically Paul Bearer, It was just like, it was like Undertaker and Paul Bearer, But he is the thing that made everything, right? I mean, just like any time, like I would... if I cannot pick a specific moment, just any time we just have a shot of him at ringside, especially those early days, and we saw a lot of it in that promo last night, him holding the urn and doing the, look, I did a fantastic impression there for you audio listeners. But that was just like, God, this guy is really creepy and weird, and it was tremendous. He was the right ingredient to make Undertaker work. Right? Versus what we started off with him being out with, the $1 Million Man brought him in, but what, Brother Love? Which was a weird one. So, what?
I just said Brother Love.
Oh, but that...
It's always so red.
So, whoever decided, let's bring this guy in and have him do this, was absolute genius. So, again, nothing specific, but just kind of a general, I love that those moments really kind of stuck with me. So, WrestleFan, I know you have a long history of Paul Bearer-isms.
Well, yeah, the one Lunchbox kind of took from me there was the WrestleMania 21. But that one was really cool, too. Knowing a lot about Paul Bearer from what I've heard from, not just, the wrestling world, but, my dad was a real big fan, and, he sort of taught me about him. And so to see him for that first time was awesome. I'll say the moment that was a little bit not too far from that WrestleMania afterwards, from the Great American Bash in 2004,
what?
where the Undertaker had a handicap match against the Dudley Boys, where Paul Heyman created some vessel in which Paul Bearer was placed in a cement casket that was going to get filled with cement. The reason I bring it up, something that I think was so ridiculous and in any sense could have been horrible, just a horrible idea, but I think Paul made it work. I think he had that ability.
I'm sorry.
You picked the wrong video.
I'm sorry, that video apparently spliced it with a nuclear bomb effect.
That's
Oh,
like
YouTube.
the one where Shawn Michaels goes up to a laptop, presses a button, and Vince's limo explodes.
But no, I think he was so ridiculous in himself that he made that thing work. Something that would not have worked normally, I think.
It was such a ridiculous setup.
And he was perfect for it. And I think, and ever since, and I know a lot of the other stuff that was sort of like later, more recently, like the stuff he did with Edge, like so ridiculous, but it was perfect because, Paul Bearer made it perfect. So that's my memory.
Excellent. And to the Riz?
It's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. What I remember most about Paul Bearer is not his, what he did with The Undertaker or what he was doing. It was how the fans treated him and how he was the guy that everybody knew from The Undertaker. And he was that image of Ghoulie. He wasn't perfect, but they played on him like he was somebody. And I remember during the early years of is that a gif of Paul Bearer getting hit over the head with a soccer ball?
Yes.
Okay, but the one moment that stood out to me, and I kept on thinking about it. Even they showed some of it during the actual tribute, was the fact that in these early years, as the main guy for The Undertaker, they had contests, a Paul Bearer look-alike contest, and mostly kids from 8 to whatever would enter this contest, paint themselves ghostly white, put a mustache on their face, and look exactly like Paul Bearer. There was actually one in the audience as late as last Monday I saw, and it was kind of creepy. But when they showed the thing, I never really saw it myself, but I remember listening to something and hearing, oh, you can come down to the Mellon Arena, and they're for the pre-show or for intermission, we're going to have a Paul Bearer look-alike contest.
And it wasn't that the ultimate thing for the fat kids out there watching wrestling. Be like,
yeah.
I can never pull off a Hulk Hogan or Macho Man Randy Savage, but a Paul Bearer I can do.
Yeah, all you can do is put white paint all over your face, draw a mustache, and get your voice very high like this, and there you go.
Awesome. That's amazing.
And get a gold urn.
Oh, Paul Bearer. There you go. Excellent. From the chat room, Carr says, favorite moment, Bearer turning on Taker to work with Kane, Mankind, etc. Yeah, because, he was with them for years, right? So, and there's amazing gifts, as we saw a moment ago. Tremendous stuff there. Paul Bearer will be missed. I think, again, what was it, probably one of the last great managers that stuck through the years. He made Undertaker work, and he was. We always give Undertaker himself a lot of credit for changing over the years, but for several years he was the Undertaker, and he had Paul Bearer, and that's what we remember him as.
Now, if it wasn't for Paul Bearer, and Paul Bearer wasn't in the WWE at all, and it was the Undertaker and Brother Love, or the Undertaker and the $1 Million Man, and they kept that going. Would the Undertaker be this popular?
I don't think so, because I think, like I said,
Exactly.
it was kind of the whole package. So on top of that, you had the funeral parlor as an interview segment. You had somebody to be a mouthpiece, because Undertaker without a mouthpiece didn't work. That's why they was with first, $1 Million Man and Brother Love, because it just wouldn't have worked, So yeah. And Mike's saying it's really a shame we couldn't see Taker and Punk both walk down to Mania with their respective Pauls. Yeah, that would have been cool too. So there you go. And with that, let's go to, speaking of Mike hanging out in the chat room, let's go to Mad Mike's Minute of Mayhem.
Raise, motherfucker, raise, allow
It's Mad Mike once again with your Minute of Mayhem. Okay, before I start, I just want to say rest in peace, Uncle Paul. Such a shame that it happened, but I gotta say they handled it very tastefully, I thought, and wow, did it help the Taker and Punk storyline, because went from last week not really caring about it to holy shit, this is gonna be fun. Anyway, that's all I want to say about WWE this week, because TNA has earned the entire minute. Not just because I was right, although that does help, but Lockdown was such a good show. Like, just overall, really logical booking, the right people won everything. I mean, I almost felt like I was watching a different company. We have, like, it was, if you listen to the minute last week, I said that Team TNA should win, and that right afterwards, after TNA was riding this huge high, Bully Ray wins the title, declares himself the leader of Aces and Eights. That's exactly what happened! And holy shit, I'm actually super excited for Impact this week. I really, really am. They're gonna be in Chicago. It's gonna be a hot crowd, I'd imagine. And it's gonna be fantastic. And I also said that, you know, if it happened that way, I would go back to reviewing TNA. So this week, look for Mad Mike Reviews TNA once again. And I think that's another one of my predictions from earlier in the year coming true. But anyway, yeah, TNA, bravo, well done. And the ending where Bully's standing in the ring and people are throwing trash in, and he just badmouths Brooke Hogan. He's like, I screwed you, I fooled all of you. Oh, so fucking good, because I mean, I kept hoping that this was the build that they were doing, because a lot of things were indicating it, but you know, with TNA, sometimes they don't always go the way the indicators point. This time they did, and it was pretty fantastic. I mean, I really don't have a bad thing to say about TNA, and plus, it looks like we may actually get Taryn Terrell as a wrestler now, which, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because she is horrible at refereeing. But her and Gail Kim could actually be a very good feud. I'm looking forward to that, actually. Yeah, I think that's it for the minute this week. Peace, bitches.
Thanks, Mad Mike, for that Mayhem Corner. Maybe a new name? Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I'll have to change the graphic. No, and on the TNA side, I think we can start talking about, wait, do we have, before we get to that, do we have our masses, unwashed masses thing?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. WrestleFan, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that this week. Okay. Why not? Bobby of J-Town has submitted some comments from the unwashed masses.
Okay, and of course
or
these
matches if you're Sorg.
Yeah. Regarding the Bella Twins return.
Again, these are comments from Facebook from the general WWE fan.
Correct, yeah. From their WWE Fan Nation Facebook page, I believe. Regarding the Bella Twins return, they are only here to make sure Cena doesn't get head from Riley Steele. What? I so want to have a threesome with them. And he notes, this was a female commenter. Score one for the interwebs.
Wow.
And this one was submitted by Alex Cars, posted on the Facebook wall for Zeb Coulter. Dear Sir Zeb, I want to tell the most respectful manner and defame you disrespected all the Latin American community. You are an unscrupulous coward, has nothing else to do but hate the Latino community. Everyone knows that the Latin Americans, to leave their country of Americans, would not work because they are a loose and subsequent mind, would go into bankruptcy, Fucking stupid. Thank you. Thanks for your attention.
Wait. There's some aesthetic things I need to point out on this thing. First, he uses words like unscrupulous, and what do you say? What do you say? Subsequent.
I'm up the word unscrupulous.
There is no punctuation. Then he misspells bankruptcy and says "fucking stupid" at the end. Like it's like he was going from a thesaurus and then just gave up.
Dear Sir Zeb.
Yes, dear Sir Zeb. Like, I'm really trying to convey this on your level and sound smarter than you, and then I just degenerated. So it's just like Fox News. Okay. Excellent. So with that, let's go back to TNA. Yeah, I watched Lockdown, WrestleFan. I watched it.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I'm going to be trying to watch TNA again.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the stuff. This is the stuff I was looking for. It's like, and
that's really interesting that you really enjoyed the pay-per-view. I thought I enjoyed it more, mainly because I didn't have to listen to commentary.
Hey, but you know what though? I'm not so bad on commentary because it's not the Tanay and Cash show anymore.
I don't care. Okay. Like, it's not. Ken Lee is not good, and it's not that it's necessarily the Taz and Tanay show. It's just that Taz and Tanay aren't that good. Like, honestly.
No, but at least it's like subdued, and maybe because I haven't listened to them for the last several months. But it just seems like it's been dissipated because you got one guy in the middle of it, so I don't hear Tanay shilling all night.
Well, okay, and like I said, I didn't listen to pay-per-view, so maybe it was different. But this is what I got from it all: is that I encourage anyone who watches an Impact and gets like really, really upset about it, listen to it without the commentary. I feel like even without the commentary, the wrestlers truly have the capability of selling the storyline without, Taz and Tanay saying, this is what they're doing, and this is why they're doing it. Like the Bully Ray Jeff Hardy match, it's so great as far as like a storytelling match goes.
Yeah.
Like, Bully Ray was awesome in that match. His facial expressions, like, everyone in the crowd got what he was doing. Like, all throughout. And, they shifted in reaction, sort of to him. And it was perfect. Like, I thought it was very, very good. So I encourage anyone to listen to it without the commentary because it changes the product tenfold. I mean...
So, and coming into it, and again, I don't have the weeks and weeks of storyline, whether the ups and downs that you guys have been, for and against all these weeks. But I feel like the presentation of Aces and Eights for like a newbie like me, like they feel serious. Like I didn't know who all was in it. I'm like, holy crap, that guy's in it. Holy crap, that guy's in it. And it feels NWA and NWO enough, but not like the $1 million whatever they were that was in there. Like the Millionaires Club or whatever the hell they called it. Like that was like, oh, come on, really?
So there won't be a Latino version of Aces and Eights?
I hope not. I hope not. But it's like a good mix of these are guys we're trying to get over that have this weird legacy thing. These are guys here that maybe they were somewhere but they didn't make that big of an impact, but you kind of remember who they are. And
Mike Knox.
And then you got guys like D'Lo and Devon and Bully Ray that were like, fuck those guys? Shit. Even somebody coming back in, I remember them. Or, holy crap, they're doing something kind of relevant that's not the Dudley Boys or the stupid Team 3D thing. I think they've done, like, this was a big, long tail reason to make the Dudley Boys relevant again.
Yeah.
And it fucking worked. So, I'm real happy with it. I am interested and want to continue to watch. So.
Absolutely, I loved the live aspect of it all. It was. I had a legitimately amazing time, and I kind of gave them a lot of shit for the whole Alamo Dome thing. I will say they used a good 6 of it. Like it definitely wasn't the full dome by any means.
Looked great on TV,
but it looked amazing. It looked amazing, and it felt big.
Yeah,
and the place was packed, and the crowd was hot. Like legitimately, I think it was really, really awesome. And I thought all the matches were great. I loved Legal Lockdown. I was really, really happy with that, especially like with the storyline stuff they were going for. The X Division match was really good. The tag match was really good. There was some hit and miss stuff. Wes Briscoe, you're as bad as I thought you would be. Yeah, but yeah, I do think they delivered a really awesome product, and the crowd was excited, and I was legitimately surprised. I thought a good majority of the crowd was going to be, we came here because we saw Hulk Hogan and we saw Sting and we saw Jeff Hardy, and they were hot for all those guys. Like they really were excited for all those guys. But I was surprised, like listening to the conversations around me of how many people, not even adults, but also like children that like followed the storyline and like watched Impact every week. Mm-hmm. It was really surprising.
I'm sorry, I was looking a little bit here. So I'm looking at the schedule because I was just kind of wondering when they're going to come through. Because I'm genuinely interested to see, like, I saw they were up in Erie. They're actually having an Impact Live show at IUP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
April 25th.
I might have to finally go back down to IUP for something.
I might be up for that trip too, just to see it. I heard good things about when they went up there before. April 25th.
Huh.
Like, and now Indiana's like out of Pittsburgh a good bit, right? I mean, that's a good
about
drive.
an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes.
That's a good drive. Okay. It said the crowd didn't sound hot on video. I thought they sounded all right from what I heard.
I listened back a bit. It did sound pretty good, but it did sound different than what it sounded like in the arena. Because I thought the arena was like dead on. Like there's some parts where they weren't as excited.
No,
I'm sorry, they're not going to be hot for Robbie T and Robbie E. You know, like
Nobody is.
Yeah, but I had a legitimately fun time. It was really, really awesome. I cheered my head off for Joseph Park. I booed my head off for Karen Terrell. It was great. It was awesome stuff.
Awesome. So, I'm real happy with that. And I think you and I are the only ones here that saw the pay-per-view in any capacity. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Judging by everybody's silence. So, but I think it's time to give it another shot. It's that period, you know. Just be like, hey.
I hope it works out for you guys. I hope things are different this time. I hope it works out for you. But I just want you guys to know that if things go bad and she starts hitting you again, you're welcome to sit on my couch.
Can I also just say, like, in this, and TNA is obviously not to the WWE level, and I think that a lot of people compare it to that. But if there are going to be parts of watching Impact that are probably not going to be that great, I would say watch it with a group, and that goes to like this is just sort of a thing I want to like put out there to like anyone. Like if you're bad wrestling can be good depending on like the people you're around. If that makes sense. Like watching it, I like as far as Impact, like sort of whatever. But it's awesome like having a hangout and talking to people with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it start at $17.
Yeah, that's about how the prices for. I don't know how far they go up to.
And that's a small enough arena that a $17 ticket is going to give you a good
$17 at the Ed Fry Arena in the Kovalchuk is probably going to be half the. It's probably going to be half the arena.
Yeah. And
that's. I've only been there once, and I've been on the actual floor for that. So, yeah, it looks like it looks good, but like Lunchbox said, I may need to use that couch soon.
I really hope it works. I really do. I hope it's different this time. But I'm not going back to her.
Very different.
But I remember what happened.
But they have my CDs. What am I going to do?
We live in the future, man.
Oh,
you gotta let those CDs go. Gotta live in the
idea what you guys are talking about.
And it's a perfect point to it. Like I think a lot of times we're sitting there or maybe just bitching about it on Twitter and stuff, and we, stuff we've been doing with Hangouts. I know you guys are always in Hangouts for main event or TNA Impact and stuff, and that seems to really help out. I know that's what gets us through Raw on Monday nights, which is so bad that we have to say that, but still, like I think it ups the enjoyment level. I remember some summers we would have people come over on Monday nights. I guess I'm thinking back to high school. But, and that made it a different experience, right? Now with the Hangouts.
I think you're supposed to be, like, if it's bad, like you can sort of dwell on the bad, aspects, but if you're not like cracking jokes about, how horrible like people are on TNA, then like what are you doing? Like,
Well,
you need to have fun with it.
Wrestling was made for groups, though. Remember back in the when WCW was there? What did they have? They had nitro parties.
Nitro parties! We'll bring
So yeah, they want people to watch it in a group.
Yeah.
That's what brings people together, is watching something that they like.
Yeah, because I mean, you know who watches it alone? The people that are talking about work rate and all that kind of smarky stuff. They're not really enjoying it. Like they're like, I watched it so many times. I'm breaking it down in my head, and I can't enjoy it anymore. You know what I mean? But if you sit there and watch it with friends, and now we can do it, with Twitter, Hangout, and stuff. I think that's what the cool thing. I think everybody's getting tired of the social media thing with WWE because that's probably because they don't have any friends. So the social media should be like the equivalent of your Nitro house parties, right?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So. I think that makes it a little bit better. The best wrestling for groups is $5 wrestling, and just saying, says Cars in the chat.
That is true.
I'll give him that.
I do like me some $5 wrestling.
Have to get in on some of that stuff.
And some Jimmy the Snake.
But and with like $5 wrestling, like the way I look at it, like I've been to shitty indie shows that are awesome because of the people I'm around and the fact that we're laughing and joking about how shitty it is. You
can kind of do it.
It's okay to recognize that it's shitty, but have fun with it. Like if you're not having fun with it, then
exactly. Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
That's fun. That's really
Batista. Fun. All right. On that note, guys, I want to know, what'd you learn from wrestling this week, WrestleFan?
Oh shit.
You had to learn something. You went to TNA.
Oh. I learned, I didn't learn this, that Taryn Terrell is the worst referee ever. No, she legit is. Not just because she, is beating up people and not being impartial. There was a point in the match where Velvet has Gail's legs, trying to go for a submission, and Gail makes it to the ropes. So Taryn is yelling at Gail to break it, to get off the ropes. That's not how wrestling works. Someone needs to I swear to God. I didn't really learn that. But the thing I did learn is that this Fandango storyline, from last week that went to oh, this is dumb, it's turning pretty awesome now.
Whoa. If you hold the fucking phone here. Are you serious right now?
What?
You didn't like Fandango when he started this Fandango thing?
Not really. I like it now that he's feuding with Brodus Clay and Tensai.
Can you call that feuding?
He may be converting one of the Funkadactyls. I think that would be interesting.
And by the way, say his name right.
I'm not even going to try.
Say his
I can't roll my R's. I can't say Fandango's name right. I can't say Meadville.
Whoa! You said it.
You did say
it.
Fluck.
Wow. Meadville. Riz, what'd you learn?
I learned that Damien Sandow is finally turning into a meme.
He memed himself!
He memed himself.
That was amazing!
Oh, you were not aware?
That needs to be a t-shirt.
I think it might be a t-shirt soon.
It's gotta be. What about you there, Launchbox?
I learned that the WWE can still elicit an emotional response from me, because oddly enough, it was weird. So we turned on Raw. We saw the Undertaker, the thing with the urn, and he did the pose with Paul Bearer, and I got a little choked up. It was a very sad thing. And then CM Punk interrupted, and I genuinely, for a split second, I was actually upset. Not necessarily with CM Punk as a character, but for a minute I was like, this is too much. This is too far. As things progressed, I was like, all right, this is good, and I'm getting into it. And it's unexpected. I thought the way it was going to go was just CM Punk is I'll get respect by doing something that no one has ever done, and I'll beat the Undertaker. They're not going down that route. They're going down a different way, and it's interesting. But for that split second, right at the beginning, they got that emotional response from me, which I think is the point.
That's what they're trying to do to CM Punk. They're trying to make him the uber heel.
And it worked. It worked. They clicked.
But he still gets cheered though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still going to cheer for him. Absolutely. I think they're going to have a great match. But my gut reaction right there at the beginning, I think, was exactly what they were going for. So
Exactly. It's what they want is an emotion out of you, right? Even if it's not like the one you want to feel. From the chat, well, I learned, I'm always surprised when I'm excited for a big guy confrontation. Like, I'm kind of excited for this whole Mark Henry Ryback situation going on. And when, was it you, WrestleFan, that was telling me, like, what about, like, them getting together? It's obviously going to happen. I'm like, no, it didn't obviously going to happen in my head. But now I'm excited for that, you know? But no, yeah, it's made me kind of care about Ryback again. And he's been kind of floundering. So, I
am
like
so
it.
excited for
But
that.
we have to be careful about this, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could turn into, that match that dare not speaketh among us.
Really?
What?
Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
It will not be that.
No,
it will not
that
be
was a
Fuck
whole
you.
other situation.
Mark Henry is so much better than those two.
Yeah, and they're not, like, both leaving and nobody gives a fuck thing. You know?
We didn't know they were leaving until a week before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but nobody's like, no, no.
But still,
these two actually care enough to try and put on a good match. Whereas at the time, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg didn't give any fucks.
Yeah,
he's like,
Okay.
I can make more money elsewhere. See you guys.
I am angering my dog right now.
Exactly.
You should be.
From the chat room, Carlos learned that if you're not having fun with wrestling, your name is Dave Meltzer. Bob,
Yep.
is there something behind that?
He doesn't like wrestling.
Really? Wow.
He really doesn't. Have you read Dave Meltzer?
Not
I had
lately.
someone tell me once that because of my blog that I was becoming the new Dave Meltzer, which I think he meant as a compliment, but that was kind of...
Bobby learned
It
that.
just means you're douche.
In the field of Dave Meltzer, that's his job, man. Nobody really likes their job.
Yeah. Bobby F. J. Town learned that Jericho was on Mark Madden's show today and credits DDP Yoga with his comeback. He says he doesn't even go to the gym anymore. Wow. Wow. I need to get on this shit. Wrestling Revolution says he learned that Taryn Terrell got so mad at Gail Kim on Sunday that she was losing her hair. I missed that.
What?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I watched that back on the replay. Her hair was ripping out. It was weird.
Mad Mike learned that it's still real to Brooke Hogan. Brooke Hogan.
Thought you must have said Bricky.
Bricky Hogan. Oh, no. Oh, Brad Maddox. Holy fuck, Brad Maddox. You're awesome.
Brad Maddox.
By the way. Holy shit. He
Wait,
was on
did you
like.
say awful or
He's
awesome?
awesome. He was
He's
on like
awesome.
3
He's
segments of
very good.
SmackDown. It was amazing. And they actually called him out on being the Dwight Schrute of wrestling or something like that.
The best part of Raw was during the highlight reel, him telling Jericho him telling the people in the back to pull up the Jeritron 3000.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there.
And everyone's like, oh, this is bad, it's horrible. It's like, no, it's completely
It's
on purpose,
him.
and it's amazing. All right. Somebody gonna
Also,
get
the
some.
GIF in the chat room is the greatest thing I've ever
Somebody gonna get some wheat things.
Eat them up. Tasty snack. Tasty snack.
That's the best. Somebody tweet that thing. All right, on that note, guys, it's a Wrestling Mayhem Show. It is at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Oh, and Brad Maddox wanted to take a poop break.
I Stitcher, Flickr, TV, Roku, and YouTube.
I need to take a poop break.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Also 412-206-WMS0. Grab the app WMS Gold on your iOS App Store and Amazon App Store for your iPhones and your not your Amazon phones, your Android phones. That's the ticket. Guys, also join us here every Tuesday night. Of course, this always entertaining chat room. Loving that they can drop anime gifs whenever they want in the latest chat all the time. You can join that at live.sorgatronmedia.com every Tuesday night. We start this show about 9 p.m. Eastern, but all the fun, we get techie, we get video gaming at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you can drop in anytime. I did not know we had, typically like the wrestling crowd spills over in the other shows, just kind of waiting to get to this show. I did not realize how techie some of you guys were out there. We were like talking about WordPress and video and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I'm down with some WordPress. I'm like, Awesome. I'm loving the crossover I'm seeing with this show because it's what we do here. Is we get into everything geeky that we're into, and we hope you are too, and we hope you stick around for the ride here every Tuesday. This is a big just gathering of geekery, right?
Yep.
Right,
Gathering
my wrestling
of
geeks. So with that,
we're a gaggle of
rise above WordPress. Yes. With that, guys, Sorg here for everybody. Go check us out on all our Twitters all throughout the week for the guys. Mayhem Show out.
Just wait.